Welcome everyone to Tech Broadcast. I thought I'd throw a real quick build here for you in that the new Skylake, Intel's new CPU processors, were just released. And what they actually are is a 14 nanometer design. It is based off the Z170 chipset, so it is going to be a new chipset. It's still an Intel 1151, I believe, socket, so there's no need about that, but you're going to need a new motherboard if you jump to this. So I thought I'd build a whole system around this if I was personally buying a Skylake system. So I'm just going to jump in. If you want to read about Skylake and some of the benefits of it, especially, it's definitely worth upgrading if you're running 2 generations ago processors. If you're running last generation's processor, it may not be worth upgrading, but hand over to AnandTech and PC Per. They do great reviews, lengthy reviews on the processor if you want to just get a little bit more knowledge about it. But it's definitely an upgrade. The motherboards have a big upgrade too, which you'll see as we get into things. So the price point that I'm looking at is $1,500. So this is not going to include a mouse, keyboard, and monitor like I've been previously doing. It will include the Windows operating system. So with that being said, let's jump in. First thing we're going to need is the actual processor. I'm going to go with the Intel Core i5-6600K. You can get this today. I actually comboed it with a motherboard because it was actually cheaper. But for the processor, it looks like it's going to be about $250. This is the quad-core, no hyper-threading processor, which fits perfectly for anyone that's doing any gaming. Even if you're doing some light video editing, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to do about anything you need to on this processor. This has kind of been the sweet point for processors if you're just looking to get a new kind of upper tier system. For the motherboard, I went with Asus Z170 Pro Gaming. It's running about $170. If you combo it in different places, you can get it a little cheaper, but it's a great looking motherboard. I will mention that. Hopefully this pops up, probably not, so you guys can see it here, but it's a very good looking motherboard. I really like Asus's BIOS. It's real easy to navigate through and overclock, so I would pick that up for that $170. And then for the actual cooler, this is the cooler I always recommend. It is the Swiftech H220X. Mainly because it's a copper design cooler, so you're going to be able to get more overclocking because copper is a denser metal, which allows you to basically just absorb some more heat and get it away from the CPU. It's one of the better looking ones out there, and Swiftech is kind of the one of the top tier when it comes to liquid cooling. So this is going to keep that CPU cool. It's going to look good. You may want to switch out the fans. They don't always give you the best fans there, but that's what I'd pick up if I was looking to cool this CPU. For the RAM, I actually went to G.Skill Ripjaws 4 series. I believe you can get this in other colors besides red, but it's around about $60. The new Intel chipset, the Z170, can do DDR4 or DDR3 memory. So I went ahead and went with DDR4 just to get it out of the way. You're going to probably have to upgrade to it in the future anyways. It's running at 2133 is the clock speed, which is extremely fast. 8 gigabytes is kind of a sweet point. You don't really need to get to the 16 level unless you're starting to do some really heavy video editing or photo editing, which also takes a lot of CPU power, RAM power. Sorry, it takes CPU power too. And then with the storage, I went with the ADATA. This is the SP6600 for $83. You're going to get 256 gigabytes of storage there to put any OS on or throw a few games on that you want to load up quickly. For the $83, it's a reliable card, reliable SSD. It's a little previous generation. You could also get the Samsung 850 EVO is a good card. Intel's 730 series, which is their older generation for what they just actually released now, is a great card if you want something that's going to last a long time. Samsung 850 Pros are very, very good drives. So if you want to spend a little more, go that route. But I would pick this up and run it in my system and not have any problems with that. For a little larger storage, I actually went with the Seagate Barracuda, the 1 terabyte. It's running about $50. Just pick up whatever you can. There's some 2 terabytes if you need a little bit more storage there. If you want to get into the $65 range, add a little more to that. I personally don't. I have a 2 terabyte that I have nowhere near close to being full. Which is probably my fault. It probably should be, but pick that up for $50. If you need more, spend a little more. If not, you can spend a little less. Get a larger SSD if you want to do that and just scrap the hard drive altogether. With the graphics card, with the Asus, this is the card I've been recommending a lot. This is the 980, the STRIX card. and it's run us $484. These cards are slowly coming down since the 980 Ti came out. I wanted to throw a 980 Ti in this system, but I just couldn't justify the price point for like $630. So you're spending over $100 more for something that you can probably overclock this to get to near to that level. It has 4 gigabytes of memory, so you're going to be able to do some 4K gaming if you want to start getting into that. And I put a beefy power supply in this system, so if we want to upgrade to maybe 2 980s, we'll be able to do that pretty easily. It's a good looking card. It's one of the better looking cards out there, if you ask me. You got a nice little black backplate there, which is just plain black, which I usually like. Asus cards are known for running extremely cool, so that's something to keep in mind, and they overclock really well, so keep that in mind also. For the case, I went with the Fractal Design Define R4. This is the Blackout edition. I've really come to love the Define R3, 4, 5 series. This is running at $75. That's really why I went with the R4 over the R5 or maybe a Corsair case. I really like the Corsair Air 540. It's kind of big, but this is a smaller mid-tower ATX case. It looks great. There's not really a whole lot of negative to say about the case. It's got some noise dampening on the inside there. It's probably the best semi-budget case you can get out there that's not going to be just all plastic and not built very well. So it's a great case. Pick that up if you're wanting just a basic case. There's all kinds of other cases out there. If you want a different design, go with that. You have a $75 budget, so there's a lot of different designs you can get. For the power supply, this is a little beefier than what I was intending, but we're looking at the Corsair RM 850 watt. This is a full modular gold power supply, and I believe it has a 7-year warranty. Check down here, and of course it doesn't say. Pretty positive it has a 7-year warranty, so Corsair's using Seasonic power supplies are just rebranded. At least they were previously. I'm assuming they're still doing that. And you're going to get it for about $100. So that's a great safety net. You're getting 850 watts. It's 80 plus gold, so it's going to be extremely efficient, and you're going to have a long warranty, so you're going to be able to hold on to it for a long time. If you want to throw 2 or 3 graphics cards in your system and Crossfire SLI this thing, you could do it easily and not have any problems. And then we finally went with Windows 8.1. Go with any Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1. Doesn't matter. Whatever's cheapest, because you can just upgrade to Windows 10 for free after that. So it's going to run us about $90. So that's going to get us a copy of Windows, and that's really it. That is going to be the system, and we have a total of $1,495. So that puts us right under the $1,500 range, which is, in my eyes, a really kick-ass system. If you wanted to maybe go and upgrade to the Core, the i7, I believe it's the 6700K, or I believe that's what it is. That's $100 more, so you could upgrade to that and maybe, I don't know, cut out the hard drive, get a cheaper case, cheaper power supply. You could probably do that also if you needed that Core i7, you wanted the hyper-threading. But this is the sweet point. This is what I would get. Personally, if I was building a system right now and had $1,500, this is what I would actually go for, is this setup. And it's actually a lot beefier graphics card than what I got now. I'm still running a 780. So this would actually be a bigger improvement graphics card wise, which is mainly what you're looking at for gaming. That's it, guys. Sorry this is kind of in this format still. I wanted to get this up quick since the Skylake processor just came out and you can actually purchase it today. I don't believe it ships though until sometime next week, like the 14th or something of next week, and I believe we're on the 8th now. That's it. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you guys next time.